Another means through which you must not take your belief or your acts of worship is fabricated hadith. You know, some people fabricated some hadith. This is why we said scholars are in agreement that any hadith you see in Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim, you don't have any problem. But any books, any other books of hadith, the scholars will explain this one is authentic, this one is not authentic. If hadith is fabricated, you must not use it. If hadith is a weak hadith, you must not use it for anything. And let me mention some examples. Though scholars here, sometimes you will see some of them say this hadith is authentic. While this hadith, some other scholars will say this is not authentic. We have to follow them because they are the authority in it. Only that when you see that majority of them have condemned a particular hadith as not authentic, we have to follow this. Let me give some examples. Some of us, we have a new prayer now, we call it Salatul Ishraq. What is Salatul Ishraq? There is nothing like Salatul Ishraq. Prayer at sunrise. No prayer at sunrise. You don't pray when the sun is rising. You don't pray when the sun is setting. They will quote one hadith that the Prophet said, when you pray Fajr in Jama'ah and you sit in the masjid until the sun rises well, you now get up, you offer 2 rakats. It's as if you have performed Hajj, which is complete. Majority of the scholars condemn this hadith that the Prophet is not authentic. The authentic one is there in Sahih Muslim that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, after his Fajr prayer, he used to be in the masjid until the sun rises. When the sun rises, he goes home. That's the authentic hadith. But to be praying when sun is rising, when you see the timing device we have today, the clocks, when you see sunrise there, it doesn't mean we have any prayer at that moment. They are telling you that is when Fajr prayer, that's when it ends. It's only Salatul Duha we have. And Salatul Duha begins around 20 minutes after sunrise. That is when you can pray. 20 minutes after sunrise, that is when you can pray. That is when Salatul Duha begins. And also we have seen some people when they are praying in the second rakah, at that short sitting, that is part of Sunnah, before they go up, they will do like their hands like this. Fisting is like this. It's not part of Salat. It's hard to be like this. Yes. They will say, but one person meant me. Yes. We need to study everything very well. Sheikh Al-Albani rahimahullah is one of the finest authority when it comes to hadith authentication. Only that he has some standards that some scholars believe are not adequate enough. That is why I've studied Sheikh Al-Albani for about 20 years. It's always advisable when he authenticates hadith to look for 1 or 2 more scholars who have also authenticated the same hadith before it can be used. Recently, I also heard some people saying that when you are praying and you break your ablution, you can go and perform ablution, another one. As long as you don't talk, you can continue from where you stopped in your salat. Maybe you're observing Asri prayer, you have done 2. You now fast. Go and do ablution. As long as you don't talk, when you come back, continue from where you stop. Go to number 3 until you end it. No! This is not authentic. The authentic hadith is, إِذَا فَسَا أَحَدُكُمْ. The Prophet ﷺ said, whenever any of you breaks his fast, his salat. By fasting, for example, فَلْيَنْصَرِفْ. Drop your salat. وَلْيَتَوَضَّعْ. Go and perform another salah, another ablution. While you eat the salah, then repeat your prayer. You have to repeat your prayer. So you don't build on it. This is another thing. Recently I saw some people, when I went for Hajj, at Mina, every night of Mina, they will quickly leave Mina, they will go to Makkah to go and do Tawaf. They will come back to Mina. It's so stressful for them. I said, where did you find this? It's not an authentic hadith. You remain, when you are in Mina, you remain at Mina until you finish Mina. When you go back to Makkah, that is when you can do more Tawaf, whatever you want to do. But at the night, except it's a Tawaf al-Ifad or Tawaf of Hajj, you can go to Makkah to do it and come back to Mina. But every night of Mina, the hadith that says this, the hadith is not authentic. So we have to make sure that Any hadith we want to rely upon is authentic, so that we won't be causing chaos or schism in Islam. But the worst is if you follow a fabricated hadith, or you are following your dreams, or you are following sources that are not even part of our religion. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase us in knowledge. May Allah guide us aright.